everybody. I thought I'd show off a few pens today, so just wait for a few people to join the live broadcast. Sometimes it can take a couple of minutes. Hey Emmy. Hey Zeta. Just waiting for a few more to join. I thought I'd show off a few of the Viscontis I have. A few of the very different versions of Visconti. Yeah, I did pull out a few wands. some very longer pens and metal pens, silver overlays, and things like that. So yeah, I'll show you. I got 10 pens here, so just got a few. And you can see a couple of stacked coin celluloid there, a couple of Davinas, and also a Medici there as well. Yeah, the watermark is there. One of my actually several of my favourites. Actually, quite a few of my favourites are here, actually. Watermark is definitely one of my favourites. I think the Camelot, the Belgica, the Ecstasy de Aude. Yeah, the green one is also awesome. That's the Divina. Yep, and the Corsani first edition as well. So I'll just show off a few of the pens. Now this is the Visconti Istos Arachnis. It's a spider's web with a lovely big spider on it. Let's see if I can zoom in on that spider there. It's an interesting pen, and I don't like spiders, so it took me a while to think about whether or not I actually wanted a pen with a spider on it. But yeah, it's a power vac filler from Visconti, and if I unscrew it, got the ink window, double reservoir, power filler. And zoom in, there you go, medium nib. I tend to go for more mediums. It's a 23 cat palladium nib there, single tone. Yeah, the spider, I kind of made the exception for it too. Like, I thought that it actually looked quite nice. It can come in different colours on the web. I think there's a silver version as well instead of a white version. Hey Tony, glad you could make it. Yeah, I really don't like spiders. So I think people are in like two camps with spiders. You either, if you see one in your house, you either just like pick it up and put it outside, or you have to kill it. And I tend to be in the latter for that. I know it's cruel, but hey Tony. Then there's this lovely Ecstasy de Aude. This is quite an interesting pen. It actually, I don't know, let's see if I can zoom in a bit and focus. So you can see, like, there is a slight sort of like gold shimmer in the black body and cap band. Like, you can maybe see it a little bit there when I rotate the pen. It's actually interesting. Like, you don't notice it really at all until you like look up close. But that is the idea of this pen. This is kind of strange. Now, this pen's actually quite an expensive one. It comes in gold plate or solid gold. But it's a kind of a piston filler. So you go to unscrew the piston knob, and it comes off. So you then have to unscrew this, and this is actually, if I can see if I can get a focus on it. I don't know if it will focus or not. Maybe not. But this is actually a like a perfume dabber, and what you do is basically fill the pen with perfume, and it's quite strange. Like, I've not actually filled the pen with any kind of fragrance, but see if I can actually screw that back on. So you then have to actually like wonder. The amount of threads on this pen is a lot. So you then have to wonder at this point. There you go. So you can see the Aud there on the cap band. So you then have to wonder, well, how do you fill this pen if it's a piston filler? There you go. So that's a 23 carat two-tone palladium medium nib. So what you have to do on this one, if I zoom out a little bit more, you have to unscrew the section, and then you actually get this very strange piston filler. And some of them you actually just pull it out to ink, and this one you actually push in and it creates a vacuum, and then it just draws up the ink into effectively, I guess, like a mini converter type thing. So it doesn't hold a huge amount of ink, but I think it's around about like 0.6 milliliters. So it's not a huge amount, but it's a very wet, juicy, wet noodle as well. So it's actually quite interesting. And then there's another favourite I have, which is the Chica, and this one. Focus on this as well. So this is another like overlay. There you go, 175 made. This is number 25. There you go, Chica. And the overlay on this is just so stunning. It's definitely a lovely sort of royal or nationality pen, and that is also a power vac filler as well. Screw that. This one's actually inked up, so got to be a bit careful with this. There you go. That's got a lovely broad 18 karat gold nib, which is actually quite nice. Hey James. Hey Mr. Wood. And then on this one, you can kind of see the double reservoir filler on that one. But this is it's a very, very nice pen. The actual level of work that's gone into that overlay is just stunning. So yeah, that's another one of my favourites. But this is the Camelot pen. Oh, how many do I have inked up at any one time? That's a good question. Normally I have around about 40% of my pens, 30 to 40, inked up at any one time, which is way too much. So I have to sort of try to reduce that every week if I can. Yeah, this is a. If I zoom in on this chainmail, look at this. So it's actually like two different like stripes of chainmail. The amount of detail that goes into that, it's just stunning. And like even the clip as well, and the band across the top. It's just one of those pens that I just had to pick up. And even sort of like in the middle of the pen here, where the cap band meets the body, you get that same gold band. So it is a really, really nice pen. Again, that's a piston filler as well, and that's got an 18 karat medium nib on, two-tone. So this one isn't inked at the moment. How difficult is it to clean? Which one, Tony? Well, all of the pens. um, takes quite a bit of time. A lot of flushing, especially with the power vacs. Normally, I find I have to sort of clean them out about probably about 8 or 10 flushes to try and get them as clean as I can. Hey, Lewis. Oh, the Camelot. Yeah, about the same, about 8 to 10 flushes. So literally, it's trying to, if you can't take the nib out, if you can't unscrew the nib, then you do have to literally try and fill the pen up with water and expel it 8 to 10 times, just to try and get it clean. So yeah, so that's the careful when I cap these. That's the Camelot. Hey, Evan. I hate you too. That's the Camelot. So yeah, that's another nice silver overlay. And then, as Emmy said, there's a watermark that he likes. And I don't know, probably a lot of people don't know this, but if you actually look at the body, it's a transparent, but it's actually, the silver overlays here are actually V's for Visconti. No, on the Camelot, no, the chainmail is actually very smooth, but on the watermark, yeah, you do get fibres caught like in amongst these V's because they are quite sharp. So that's something like if you try to sort of rub this over with a microfiber cloth, then yeah, you start pulling it to shreds. Show everyone why we will hate me surely. Oh, do you really want me to show that one, Tony? Or do you want to save that one for Evan? That's up to you. I don't mind showing it if you don't mind. But it is close by though. So I'll let you make that decision. And then here's another one which was the... okay, we'll show the pen that Tony is going to get very soon. Tony is going to get this beauty. Well, I think Tony is going to. We were talking about it this morning, so... or late his time. And this pen is is just stunning. I'll zoom in. Let's see if I can try to focus. I'm having a little bit of trouble focusing on the pattern on this one. But this is a really, really nice. It's actually a picture of the Palazzo, or the palace. But the orange on this is just superb. Oh, poor Tony. But yeah, so if I can do a bit of a close-up there for Tony, seeing as he's going to get this one. So you got that lovely band across the top of the cap. You got the old sort of keel clip. It's a lovely swirl of orange. And if you unscrew it, it's got a very lovely 18 karat gold Visconti medium nib. But look at that section as well, though. That is just stunning swirls. It also comes in a Voyager in the same material called the Yellow Dawn. So, no, you're not poor. You have several Opera Masters. So yeah, that is a nice pen. And then, as we've got the watermark here. And this is solid silver with a palladium finish. It's got a single toe nib. Got a little bit of... I cleaned this actually today, so there's a little bit of orange ink still left on it. I need to do a better job at cleaning that. But sometimes these power vacs are a little bit more harder to clean. You can see a little bit of orange in there. Still just inky water. Thanks, Janine. Then there's the Corsani 90, which I know Emmy likes. Try and get that. So this is a Homo Sapiens with a stacked celluloid coin. Very similar to like the old Parker Vacuumatics. And then the light just catches it as you rotate it. Yeah, the green is very nice. I don't actually have a green at the moment. But, well, not in the Wall Street anyway. And that I got a very juicy 1.3mm stub on it. So that is a very nice one. Now, again, that's a power vac filler. So, but that is lovely. I'm glad I was able to pick that up when I did, because that's now long sold out. And then there's the more recent one, which is the Visconti octagonal. And again, that is similar sort of stacked celluloid coin, but it's in the Brunelleschi sort of octagonal sort of size of sort of rotational around the body, so it's not round. Do I prefer stub nibs? I do now. I started off originally with fine nibs. I'm not keen on extra fine. I started to then go to medium, then broads, double broads, triple broads, and now 1.3 stubs. So I do like the 1.3 stubs that Visconti do, providing they have, like the Visconti ones have tipping on them. So let's see, there you go. That's a broad nib on this one. That's a 23 carat palladium. Yeah, this is sold out, and unfortunately, a lot got stolen as well from Stilograph Corsani from Stefano, so which is a very shame. But this is a lovely pen. Again, it's another power vac filler with that stacked coin celluloid is just amazing. I have a few of those. I have the Wall Street. I have the Davina Metropolitan as well. And here's another Divina. Now this is the Desert Springs. It's not the LE version, but it looks just like a load of sand sort of in the bow of the body. It's very difficult to actually try and pick this up, but it will sparkle under certain lights. If I can get a better zoom, there you go. Maybe you're seeing it a little bit there. And then this has a get a focus on that one. This just has a 23 carat palladium medium nib on it. But that's quite nice too. And then I think it was it Zeta was saying about the green Divina. So that's also a very nice one as well. Has a lot of chatoyance as you rotate the body. A lot of these Divinas do, and that is really, really nice. Zoom in a bit. You can just see it as you rotate, just how much chatoyance there is there, and under light it actually looks so much better. And then this comes with a rose gold nib. This one is inked up. If we can get it's not going to focus too well. Trying to focus under low light doesn't focus too well. But this is a very nice. I do like the Divinas. They're quite long, but they do feel, weight-wise, they do feel quite nice. Yeah, it is. It's a captive converter. So you just have the converter there that you pull out, and then you twist it, and just twist it one way to fill, twist it the other way just to expel the ink, and then just push that knob back down again. So again, it only holds like around about like 0.6, 0.7 milliliters of ink, so about the same as a regular cartridge converter. Yeah, I wish they had chosen a different filling system for it. I think the power vac would have been better, to be honest, but I think with Visconti they were trying different mechanisms, and they have quite a lot of different mechanisms. But like there's one, I think I have 4 or 5 now Davinas. I'd love to get a few more, but the filling system really, yeah, is not one of the better ones, I would say. And then you've got the Medici, which is this is the silver, or the not the gold trim, which is being released, I think in a few days, or certainly in April. And this is a power vac filler. I have a couple of these. The chatoyance is great, but this one also has a like wood effect going through the pen. So that sort of reminds me more of Arco, sort of celluloid. I don't know. I have like I like the silver, the palladium trim. I think it looks better in the gold trim personally, but yeah, I think it sort of, it really just depends on whether or not you like silver or gold. I think I'm more of a gold person than silver, but and that's the nib on it, a two-tone nib, and that I think Emmy will recognise. That's a double board, 23 carat palladium nib, and that one's inked up. That's actually inked up with SPRE brown. So, and of course, back to Tony's pen, which hopefully he'll be getting soon as well. Which is the lovely it's such a long name. It's the Visconti Palazzo di Sassuolo, or however you pronounce that. I can never quite get it right, but it's I always have to look it up when I actually try to read the name off. But the chatoyance on that is beautiful. So yeah, I do. I need to visit Italy, visit Visconti at some point, and have a look at a few of their pens. That would be nice. And I think I've also got a few other pens here, like the London Fog as well. And that's inked up at the moment with Diamine Earl Grey. So that's quite nice. This is one of my favourites. It's very difficult to see here with the swirls, with the ink once it's inked up, but it is a nice. Yeah, it's definitely a Grail pen. There is that one, and then there's another one that I have, which is made of the cap band, which is the Opera Master River Thames, which is still available. You can still get London Fogs. Okay, Mishka, I'll catch you later. I'll try to save it, definitely. So yeah, this is actually quite nice. It's not transparent, but I do like this one as well. Ah, you bought the Chianti. Nice. Yeah, and that one, careful, because this one is inked. Yeah, no, not going to get. If I can turn on a light, see if that will help. I don't know if it will. It's getting late in the day here, so probably not going to help much, unfortunately. But that's a 1.3mm stub as well. So yeah, so I thought I'd just show off a few pens and see if anybody was interested in them. I think I do have the cap at Mundi. Yeah. Hold on, let's have a look and see. There you go. That's the cap at Mundi. I wonder if I can actually get maybe a bit better light. There you go. So, if I zoom out a bit. This one's inked up at the moment, Tony. I think it's got one of the Akamon reds in it. So it is actually quite dark. In the US, I think Chatterley called it the red wine. But in Italy they called it the Caput Mundi. Which I think translates to capital of the world, or Italy, or Rome capital of the world, or something along those lines. But that is a nice pen as well. Now I think I've got a medium nib on it. Yeah, medium nib. Yeah, it is a nice pen. Very, very nice. Maybe another one here. This is the Davina Metropolitan Platinum. Again, another stacked celluloid coin. You can just see how it reflects under the light. And this is a MIDI version. They never did this in an oversized version. Okay, see you later, Janine. Yeah, I have a lot of dual tone nibs. To be honest, I actually like the dual tone nibs better than the single tone. Well, the Divina Metropolitan, yeah, it is a nice pen. There's nothing else I've got here actually. I've got tons of. I have too many pens. You got the Visconti Lava Bronze Age, but this is the Marzi edition. So Claudio Marzi airbrushed the erupting Mount Etna volcano, and it's just stunning. You can still pick some of these up. I think I've got a stub nib on that one. Yeah, 1.3 stub. I do try to change my nibs around quite a bit whenever I can, basically. Sometimes I prefer wider stubs, sometimes I prefer mediums. Yeah, you'll have to do a live at some point, Emmy. That dragon is really nice. Tracy, yeah, that I do like the look of the dragon for Marzi. You don't have enough? What? Surely you do. Maybe another one. So this is the Visconti Brunelleschi, which is the pen made of terracotta. So instead of lava, it's terracotta. I think it's Florence terracotta, Visconti say. Again, another Powervac filler. So this is quite a nice pen as well. It's just trying to find all the time to write with the pens, because I have so many inked up. I try to get sort of under 40% inked up at any one time, but I find it very tough because I do like different colour inks. So I do like to chop and change whenever I can. So yeah. So just for people that have just joined recently, you can just see a few of the pens here on the tray. And that's just a small selection of my Visconti collection. I think Tracy has quite a few as well. I know Emmy's starting to accumulate as well. Just see if there's anything else. I'll probably do another Instagram live tomorrow and maybe sort of show off more pens there. There's another one is the Visconti Uffizi. How long have I been collecting fountain pens for? Well, I started using them around the age of 10, but around about the age of 16, I stopped using them, and I started again probably a couple of years ago. So it's been a little bit of a accelerated growth in pens. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm not sure how many I have now. I think I don't have that much more than you, Tracy. I think I have 55 or 56 Viscontis. But I probably will be thinning my collection a little bit in the near future, just to sort of try and buy a few more of the newer ones. I don't have the anniversary ragtime, no. That looks very nice, but I'm not really. I don't like the clip on the ragtime. I guess it's a personal preference. Yeah, I think at some point, like, we all have to like sell pens, so it's not an infinite amount of money that we have. So sometimes you have to sell a pen and make way for a new one. And try and add a bit more light there. I think my favourite thing about Visconti brand is really the I guess the styles. They're very artistic, and there's a lot of variation, and I see that in a lot of Italian brands, like even Omas as well, although Omas are no longer around. But I'd say that's probably the biggest thing. The variation in pen designs as well, and filling systems, and it's just such a variation there. Some of the filling systems I don't like, or I prefer less. Like, for instance, the Divinas. I think really that they could have Visconti could have actually made those a little bit larger in capacity. What's my favourite pen? That is, well, I think probably Tracy will agree, is really difficult to say which is the favourite one. I have a lot of favourites, and they tend to be the ones I ink up the most. So I guess probably the London Fog, Florentine Hills. I have a lot of my Opera Masters inked up. The Belgica as well. That's inked up. Most of the time I'll have the stacked celluloids inked up as well. The strange enough, the Divinas most of the time lately they haven't been inked up. I think I haven't inked them for probably 2 or 3 months, so I think I'll probably have to re-ink those up soon. Actually, the green one I did ink up recently. But I think, it is really difficult. I think the Homo Sapiens are the ideal weight. Like, if I'm writing long letters, like 4 sides of A4, then I find my hand does tire a lot with something that is like the Opera Master, around 60 grams in weight. The Homo Sapiens I can write for a lot longer without hand fatigue. The Voyagers as well, really lightweight. The cartridge converters most of the time, but they're really good in the hand. But some people prefer smaller pens, and some people prefer larger pens. I tend to prefer larger pens, but I think the Homo Sapiens, are probably the right size. What's my favourite ink? Oh, that again. So I have about 200 bottles of full-size bottles of ink, and I don't know. I don't normally do black inks. I don't do a lot of blues. I'd say probably at the moment the ink that I like the most is probably Diamine Earl Grey. It's a lovely, lovely ink. It's a little flat, but so it doesn't shade massively. SBRE Brown, I like that as a brown ink. Mont Blanc Toffee Brown. What other inks? I went through a phase of orange inks. I absolutely love orange inks, but I haven't inked those up for a while now. So I would go for things like Pelican Edelstein, Mandarin, inks like that. Havana Brown as well, yeah, I'll go for that. I have a couple bottles of well, it's now Absolute Brown. They call Waterman call it, but yeah, I'll use that as well. So it's just, the problem is there's just so many inks, and yeah, it's like the pens. It's trying to work out which pens to ink up, and I tend to like to ink colours to pen colours, ink colours to pen colours. So that then sort of limits you a little bit more. So yeah, it's with that amount of ink, it is very difficult to try and like choose a favourite really. Yeah, Visconti's own ink. I think I have the black, the blue, the green, the sepia. So I'll tend to use those. Yeah, the Bordeaux, and I think another ink I do like is Rohr and Klinger Alt Bordeaux. I like that. I tend to ink that up in my Brunelleschi a lot. Yeah, I haven't tried the turquoise ink yet. I need to get that and try that. I used to like Konpeki a lot, and those sort of like different colours, but I've never really been that sort of high up on turquoise colours in the past. But it does look good, so I might have to give that a try. No, I've not. I don't have any iron gall inks. I only have just the regular fountain pen inks. They can stain enough as it is, let alone the iron gall inks. So yeah, it's I tend to stay away from iron gall. And yeah, I think I got the Visconti green. Yeah, I don't know what other. I think there's another Visconti ink, but I can't remember what it is. But yeah, there's so many inks that is the problem. So yeah, I'll just show that pen off again. That's the Camelot. That's the chainmail is just so exquisite on this pen. I'd actually really like to know how Visconti did the chainmail on this, because it is just so fine, the way that they put those links together. Yeah, I've not tried the Scabiosa. But that is a very, very lovely pen. So the problem I have with pens like this is what colour do I ink it with? So because I like more to do ink colours matching to the pen colours, I tend to go with a grey ink in this one. But yeah, it's I'll show you the cap band here, Tracy. It's zoom out a bit. It's amazing. Yeah, it's actually the chainmail on it is very smooth. I had thought originally that it wouldn't be that smooth, but it is. It's very smooth. It's an older Visconti, so it has the 18 carat nib. It's got a medium nib on there, and you might be able to see here. If I can point it out, the tines there have got quite a wide gap on them, so it is actually a very juicy pen. Hey Zeta. But yeah, that's definitely one of my favourites. It's strange enough, it's one of my favourites, but I don't write with it as much. But I do like it. It's so I think I will have to try and write with this one more. I can't just not write with a pen or not ink it up. I do have to ink them up and write with them. So ultimately, that's what a pen was made for. So yeah, it's how heavy? It's not as heavy as an Opera Master. I think off the top of my head, it's about 45 to 50 grams, maybe total with the cap. It's probably just slightly heavier than a Homo Sapiens, but it's really more of a resin pen with that silver overlay, the chainmail on it. So I guess the chainmail is quite hollow, so it does add some weight to the pen, but not maybe a massive amount. But yeah, so well, that's about it really. I'll probably do another Instagram live tomorrow, maybe. Maybe I'll do it with a slightly better sort of lighting condition, maybe a little bit earlier in the day, my time. I don't know, see what people would like to see, and maybe get a few more pens out. So thanks everybody for joining, and thanks for watching it after the event, if you're watching the video after as well. I'll catch you all later. See ya. Bye.